Artwork, critiques, Photoshop files, and reference sheets are all available on my Patreon. Well, hello there guys and girls, I hope you're all doing well. My name's Mikey and welcome along to another episode of Draw with Mikey. Episode 133. So yeah, any of you guys who are a bit new around here, welcome to the midweek series. This is a rambling thing for about an hour, and it's basically my way of making sure that the whole YouTube stuff doesn't become really one-sided. It's not just me popping out videos. This is my way of actually keeping in touch with you guys as we all kind of just, vibe along and share our artwork together. So if you've got anything to ask me, thoughts, feelings, feedback, questions, it can be about art, anime, manga, or any other topic. Seriously, I really don't mind. Get your sweet self into the comments section below, and with any luck, I will be catching it next time around. Other than that, any news from my end? It's very warm. It is a very warm day today, guys. I'm a little bit sleepy tired. I do have a half-drunk cup of tea, so I do recommend a tea or coffee for you guys. Maybe you're getting some sweet artwork done in the background. And in the background of today's episode, I thought I'd just share with you something that I'm up to. So basically, as you know, whatever's in the background of the Draw of Mikey series is just whatever I happen to be working on. Sometimes it will be good, sometimes it will be bad. Sometimes it's just failures and mistakes. The point is just to share all of that and make sure that everybody's aware that we all just do some really horrendous stuff sometimes. Today, at the moment, I thought I'd share with you, I'm thinking up our third OC, our third original character. In the last DWM, you saw the two that we already have, the elves, Danny and Victoria. So I'm currently trying to think up a vil-Chan. I want this kind of cutesy devil, Oni demon character, traditional red devil, but she actually works as a succubus, so like maybe her parents left the devil demon realm. She's one generation in, they went to the pleasure realm instead, so she's got devil demon heritage and powers, but does succubi work? A succubi baby? Oh my god, actually, let's not mix those two themes whatsoever. Abort. And basically, I was just putting together a character sheet for her body type, so like a figure sheet, I guess is a better way to call it. And I might also make her a bit of a Patreon chan once we're all caught up. And the idea is that obviously I do very booby breasty characters, so I did want to make sure that I did one who was a little bit thinner on top and all about that hips, bum, thigh and leg. So I spent a lot of time with this particular character just moulding and shaping.
Ah, you thought you were born in the big ditty. Well, I was moulded by it. I didn't see the light of day till I was already a man.
Okay, sorry, misquote. I'm terribly sorry. Everybody is listening. But basically, yeah, I just thought I'd focus on the different areas of body, get that bum and thigh hip vibe working correctly this time. So that's what's going on in the background. You lovely people, what the juice are you doing in the background of your work? And I like to get these in early in the beginning these days instead of at the end, because I'm always trying to panic fit them in if we do it to the very, very end. So I just want to say, guys, a great big shout out to those delicious April patrons, including Merissa, Brendan J, Hamongchi L, Mighty Mega X, Danny S, and Ahmad T. I nearly doxed you. So thank you very much, you lovely, lovely people. I really do appreciate it. Of course, Patreon links are below if you want access to stuff like this. Will go out in one of the packs and all of the reference sheets from tutorials. But don't worry, it's not hard sell time. It's catch up with you guys time. So scrolling down in the comments of the last episode, I really do want to say a great big thank you, guys. I've had such a massively warm welcome back from all of you lovely people. So Cult Levea says, the British hentai tutorial man is back, boys. Praise the Lord. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Well, let's say spicy. I'm definitely a spicy artist, but I'm still not, I wouldn't call myself a deep H artist. You know what I'm saying? Abel Superstar 100 says, the king has come back. Oh, in fact, okay, guys, 1 second. I don't want this to turn into like a massive ego rubbing session. So I'm just going to, because these are like the most top liked comments in the last episode. How do we? Over 700 comments. Oh my god, I'm going to keep the pace up. So let me just say, Cult Levere, Abel Superstar 100, Jack Yeah, Swooshu 56709, Full Metal Alchemist, Fieda Storm. Okay, a lot of you lovely guys are all saying really lovely similar things about me being back. Welcome on in. Yeah, I'm guessing I'm back. So it's lovely to see you guys. Young1311 says, in this 2020 catastrophe, Mikey came like a saviour for our boredness. welcome back. And that's it, guys. That is one of the strong motivators. I was having a lovely break. And I was just like, I need some time away. And it worked out. So that's fantastic. I couldn't be more pleased to be back. But also, yeah, it is these trying C-word time. Apparently, you can't say it. You can't say the C-word on YouTube where you get demonetized. Oh my God. That also reminds me, you've probably noticed that I've just put a different bit of music over the intro for today's episode. And that is basically because the moment I uploaded last week's episode, it got flagged by Warner EMG on behalf of some other studio company for the JoJo's music, which is basically a clip from Roundabout, a song by Yes. Now, it is fair use because it's actually a parody of an existing meme that uses that music, which is what the visuals of my intro are all about. So I can fight it, and I am fighting it. But basically it means all the money's getting claimed at the moment by another record company, and it can take up to 2 months to fight that claim and get the revenue back. And this is a weekly series, and you can only ever fight more about 2 at a time. Otherwise, if they deny it, you can get strikes on your channel and shut down. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. So basically, I'm currently fighting the other one. I'm sure it's all going to go through fine. It just takes ages. And so I thought for today's episode, sod it, I just can't be dealing with that right now. Anyway, I need some pennies to buy some stew ingredients for my lunch. So yeah, I just thought I'd really quickly say that, but it doesn't mean that the intro is changing forever, so don't panic. Just, playing around with ideas, if anything. Also, we need to get some more music and themes for the channel overall. But honestly, my main focus is get that Patreon sorted first. Then we can be looking at all of our upgrades and things in the future. So yeah, long story short, I'm back, and I know you're all stuck inside, so let's start drawing together. Sly Fox says, whilst 2020 has been chaos for many, it's been the greatest year of my life so far. Oh, hello, a diamond in the rough. Due to a strange set of circumstances, a position at my old job was being nixed, and I was going to be forced to take a different position with a massive pay cut. Oh shit. Which I couldn't afford. I was basically left with no other option but to find a new job or take an attempt at being a freelance artist. Read more. That was right back in February where the virus broke out in the US. Long story short, my commission business has been a huge success. Sly Fox, congratulations. In brackets, although most of it is hentai art. And I'm making more money than ever working from home. Hey, good for you. Shout out for you. I've got a friend who ended up being made redundant from her job in COVID. And she was always a looker, bless her heart. So she's just like, oh, fuck it. And she's just become an adult cam model now. So yeah, mate, hats off to a lot of you guys. Find what works. Shout out to you for being a major inspiration, and to my lovely fiancé who supported me every step of the way. Spoiler alert, we're the same person. No, I'm only kidding. Hey, that's really awesome, man. Congratulations to you. I'm really pleased to hear that. Guys, now not necessarily the naughty adult stuff, but just in a very general way, guys, seriously, get drawing. If you're listening to this and you've not been drawing recently, just grab a scrap of paper and a pencil, see what happens. You might just like it. Bleach Factory says, the magical girl anime that you were talking about is Madoka Magica. It was one of my first animes and I love it. Yes! So we were talking about subversive animes. I'm just copying your comments so that I can look it up later on Google. Yeah, we were talking about subversive animes, and obviously this is where I always talk about Hunter x Hunter and stuff. So if you guys know of any good ones that really turn stuff on their head, if you know what I mean, while still being a really good part of that genre, do let me know. Linny Binny says, thank God you're back. Linny Binny, thank God you're commenting. Thank you so much. That's really nice. And rburden39 says, the thing that I'm drawing is a lizard person archer firing from horseback. That is very, very curious. Guys, I often am drawing live on Twitch. Now, don't get me wrong, we're still doing live stuff on YouTube. The Draw of Mikey 100 and episode 150, episode 200, I might make it more often. We might do this more often, but like the Draw of Mikey series has, like, every now and then we do a Draw of Mikey live where we make it a long session where I get to chat to you guys directly. But all the in-between stuff, I am actually live anyway with a lot of my artwork, usually on twitch.tv. So links in the comments below. But basically, that's my long way of... Don't worry, I do have a point. Basically, that's my way of saying, if you guys ever pop into the live stream on Twitch whilst we're doing some artwork, as long as it's safe for work, you're more than welcome to share your art, because I love checking it out and showing it off to people. So if you are working on something as interesting as a lizard man on horseback archer, come show me. The Irrelevant says, hey Mikey, I see you haven't lost your magic touch. Thank thank you so much. That's very, very kind. And Morningstar Untaken says, anime suggestion. Yes, please. Interspecies reviewers. I'm sure you can figure out the plot in the name. It has waifus. Interspecies. This sounds really dodgy. Oh, wait a minute. Guys, one sec. I'm going off piste. One moment. I want to have a word with you. Okay. I've just walked over to my bookshelf to grab a book that you guys were suggesting heavily. Mikey, why don't you get the Monster Girl Encyclopedia? Hey, Mikey, you should get the Monster Girl Encyclopedia. So I looked at it on Amazon and I was like, okay, brilliant. It's literally an encyclopedia of different types of monster girls with an illustration of said monster girls each time by Kenku Cross. So I got volumes 1 and 2. One day I flick through it and actually flick it open. Here's an example. Honeybee. On the left, so this isn't just an encyclopedia. This is deep H. So honeybee, family type, bee type, an arthropod, habitat grasslands and forests, mild and gentle nature. They like nectar and flowers and stuff. And then on the right of every page, so the left is an image, and on the right you get all this information about them as a personality or a character type. Basically encyclopedia stuff. But what you also get is this tiny little extra black and white snippet picture for most of the characters, which is far more aggressively H. So on the left we've got a honeybee. On the right I have this other extra picture with a naked honeybee who's definitely enjoying a lot of nectar and appears to be squeezing that nectar up and in her area of business. And so as I flick through this encyclopedia, I'm just like, oh, this is why you were suggesting it. Oh no. Some of these pictures, man. So I've got both volumes of the Monster Hunter Encyclopedia without even opening them because I did a massive shop from Amazon. I stuck them both on my shelves with all of my other stuff, and it was only much later I was just like, oh my god. So basically your suggestion, Morningstar, for interspecies reviewers, I'm going to put it into my notepad file. I'm not going to promise I'm going to look it up anytime soon because I wonder if I Google that, if people start putting me on a register. YouTube channel suggestions is Nux Taku. The man is a very flexy individual. You should at least check out his channel. Nux Taku? Well, after you've suggested interspecies, I'm terrified. But again, I've made a note. Thank you very much. Kidito Who 1912 says, Mikey, I come back from the Navy nothing 5 months later after taking a snooze. Me, hallelujah! Our thick Lord and Saviour has returned. Thank you very much. It's very, very kind of you to say. Hallelujah. Well, let's not say that because I don't want to get in trouble biblically. But let's sip some tea. Remember, guys, this is just a ramble series. There's no editing. But thank you very much for joining me as ever. Randy Breadbox says, bum and hip character. Ah, a man of refined taste. Yes. Did I mention the vil-Chan stuff the other? Well, here we go. Here we go, my friends. James Bean says at 44 minutes he's talking about Madoka Magica, which actually got a sequel series this year. Oh, shit. Well, thank you very much, dude. I didn't realise that it had also been bumped for a season 2, because that was out quite a long time ago. Jack at Tadeko says, it's so good that you're back. Thank you very much, Jack. I really miss these videos and I find them relaxing and it makes me want to create more. That's what it's all about, guys. Plus, I'm always in awe of how easy you make it look using digital drawing software. Oh, don't worry. Sometimes I share my failures and mistakes and then it all comes crashing down. I have ideas in my head, but I find it all so daunting and I can't get my head around how to use drawing software. I've got Krita. I get lost with the layers, but what you do here and put a border around parts of drawing, it's easier to colour within the lines. Yeah, that just a later moment in the process. After you've laid down your characters, all of your line art might still be all over the place. If you go onto a fresh layer and just go around the outside edge of your character with a consistent solid line, just bang out that silhouette, you can use that as a kind of a reference or a selection point to always make sure you've got everything contained within or without your character. Yeah, strongly recommend that kind of attitude. Digital definitely seems a way to go. I love pencil and ink. I think digital has more scope. I would agree. I love pencil and ink. It really pleases me. Just sitting there, it's all the little things. The texture, the touch, the scratching noise of the pencil, just sitting somewhere nice and silent, just being left alone and just kind of coming out of the character on a piece of paper is lovely for me. But I also love digital, and you can just do a lot more with digital, and, you know, just it's the future and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, hashtag pencil never die, you know what I'm saying? We'll all be there. deep underground in our digital dystopian future, in the sewers, having covert meetings. We're all there. Boobs on paper. Hashtag boobs on paper. Jason Miles. God, do you remember hashtag take a sip? And the what pen days? And I remember. Actually, let me just sip this. Anyway, Just a Water Bottle says, little did the peasant fan know that he streams on Twitch. Yeah, so, I mean, Water Bottle's right. Like, thank you so much for the warm welcome back, you lovely people. It really does warm my heart, warm my cockles. But yeah, like, this entire time I'm drawing live on Twitch. You can always come hang out there. The Mikey, I just took a weird breath. The Mikey has commanded that I talk about my drawing. I have my delicious friends. I always want to know what you guys are working on. Also, if you've got any anime and or video game suggestions. At the moment, I'm playing still The Last of Us, still about to put in Shadow of the Colossus, still on Spider-Man on Marvel's PS4. I will give you these updates because it's very important. And we wrapped up Doom. We need to play Doom Eternal. There's lots of things. I'm looking at a load of video games off to my left. Yeah, there's lots of things. Anyway, someone requested the new Catgirl outfit from PUBG that I don't think is out yet. So literally the only reference I have are YouTube thumbnails because there are no pictures outside of a promotional video. And she's only there for about 20 frames or less, which makes it hard. But I'm doing it. So hey, you make do with what you've got. Absolutely A. And kind of sometimes what's really interesting is your mind starts to fill in the gaps. And you might come up with like variations of design, which visually are similar, but not accurately perfect. Like, do you remember when there was, whatever the last Pokemon game was, do you remember when they were slowly bit by bit releasing footage of the new Pokemon gym trainers? And there was a Pokemon water gym trainer who was this dark-skinned girl with these kind of like long blue ribbons, I guess, in her hair. Back when I did a fan art of that, number one, because I didn't do much research outside of just visually looking at her. So I was completely ignorant that there was this whole hoo-ha on Twitter and social media. You've not made her dark enough. You've whitewashed this character. Not, a lot of boohooing. And so when I saw that character, she had the exact same skin tone of somebody I saw at university, like this Indian girl I dated. So I was just like, oh, cool. That's really great. This gym trainer is Indian. You don't see many Indians in like Japanese design. So I painted her assuming that she was an Indian character. But just these little things, like all of the blue ribbons, I assumed that was her hair, that she just had loads of dyed blue streaks in her hair. So that's how I did my interpretation of that character. She was an Indian girl with loads of blue streaks in her hair. Much, much later after I'd gone live with all of it, people were just like, oh, I hope you don't get caught up in this big backlash that's happening. I was like, what? People are angry? What are they angry over? Turns out they'll be angry over anything. But yeah. Anyway, long story short, that's basically my way of saying, if you're just working from certain bits of information, especially in a video game when there's only so many pixels and polygons sometimes, your brain just kind of fills in the gap. So my brain just went, okay, yeah, she's got loads of blue hair. That's completely normal in a character design. I will draw her that way. Oh, she's Indian, so I will draw her as such. And then, much, much later, people would like, no, Mikey, she was black. Okay. Draw Megumin from Konosuba. Okay. Dark Kepler. Thank you very much for your suggestion. Control C. And Swarms says, personally, I use Pixiv. So this is obviously a conversation about art software. You can find great stuff posted by the original. Oh, this must have been when I was complaining about Pinterest. Personally, I use Pixiv. You can find great stuff posted by the original artists. The only issue with it's Japanese, and Joseph will never forgive Japanese. Yeah. Swarms, yes. I understand. H2O Toaster says, it's been a while, don't you think? H2O Toaster, it has been a while. Welcome on back and good to see you, even though, aren't you also hanging out on Twitch? And Mai Manada says, I'm really glad that you're back. Hey, thank you very much, Mai. Now my motivation comes back to draw in my sketchbooks. Guys, you might be stuck in, but come on. Let's start drawing. Arian Martinez says, hey Mikey. Hello there, Arian. I recently found a new anime to watch called The Land of the Lustrous, and it's really good, and the manga is crazy. I want you to do a fan art of the characters, Cinnabar and Thos together. Control C. Control V. Do you know what? This is a thing that it's all coming back to me. Whenever we do these series, I end up with so many fantastic suggestions. Arman Ahmed says, imagine Mikey's gender-bent drawings for Todoroki. Which one's Todoroki? Which one? Guys, I'm so out of touch. I'm so out of touch with these anime. Seriously, it's all about Patreon. But once I'm caught up, man, I'm going to be watching some anime. Man, you shut the hell up. You shut the hell up. Does anybody remember Charlie the Unicorn, or is that just me? The Legacy says, damn, Mikey, it's been a while. Hello there, The Legacy. Welcome on back in. Hope you've been well. Yeah, I can't complain. I just had to get some stuff sorted, and also that turned into me just taking a massive break that I needed, and it turned out that was probably the most healthy thing I could do, because I love this. But guess what? If you have to do something that you love, even when you don't want to do it, it's a very quick way to fall out of love with it. Now, I love this, and I hit a point where I needed a break from it, and so I took it. And as such, I still love it. Since we're all in this pandemic, I've had plenty of time to read Solo Leveling Manhwa, which is a Korean manga. Oh my god, do you know what? I was talking with someone the other day, and I was saying manhwa is Korean manga. And they were saying, no, you're wrong, it's Chinese manga, because the man stands for Mandarin. And I was like, I wasn't confident enough to argue with them. And I was like, are you sure? Because I know some Korean artists on the internet, and I'm pretty sure they're making a manhwa. And they were just like, no, Mikey, no. Anyway, so I'm so glad you've said that, because now I feel like I might be right again. You've re-established my confidence. Anyway, Leveling Manhwa, not that you need a lot of time. I binge read it in 2 days. Anyway, if you're into big flexes, this is a story for you. However, only for the first season. It's been translated and it isn't completed. I am sorry about that. How dare you make me addicted to something that's not yet a completed series? Oh. Hashtag Patrick Rufus, Name of the Wind. Hashtag the Stormlight Archives, or whatever they're called, the Stormbringer. Stormcast Eternals, all those sort of people. Anyway, actually, thank you. I will, of course, copy that onto my notepad file. Hopefully you're back for more than a fleeting moment and looking forward to future DWMs. Okay, that's it. Okay, DWMs are over now. No. Well, touch wood, right? I intend to be back. You never know what life is going to bring you. I've still got to kickstart my other YouTube channel, Film Cram, again, because that's been on hiatus for even longer than mikeymegamega has. And do many, many other things. Got some fingers and some pies. But it's really nice to be back on that busy vibe as well. It kind of gives you a bit of energy and focus. Good. I can feel it. It kind of, gets you rolling a bit. Also, how bad was that last Star Wars movie? But let's not turn it into a rant. Person of interest says, first, really, were you? Thick Bang is my artist's name. Come and Google me. Person of interest? No. Your desperate self-promotion has just made me just disinterested enough to not bother. Mr. Smiley says, I was practicing drawing an OC, a forgotten Egyptian goddess. I like it. So there is this whole big thing where in Egyptian history, and by the way, you guys probably know better than me, because I'm going from what I remember from being a kid in primary school right now. When you were a kid in school, you were either into dinosaurs or you were into Egypt. Those were your options when you were a young boy my age. I was actually a dinosaur boy, but one of my best friends at the time was really into Egypt stuff and mummies and tombs. All about the curses and pharaohs. But there was, after a string of pharaohs, there was a female pharaoh who then ruled like the other pharaohs, and she was the first of her kind, I guess, for Game Changer. And then what happened is the very next pharaoh after, and this is an example of misogynist lifestyle in a society that we've created, the very next male pharaoh after her apparently then had her tomb exhumed, buried further away, had her name removed from all of the stone tablets and stuff. He tried to completely erase that there was a female pharaoh from history. Ah, man, those men, huh? What a bunch of bastards. But anyway, the idea, Mr. Smiley, that you're working on an OC who's another forgotten Egyptian goddess, that actually works canonically, as well as just being a very interesting idea. So I do like it. Ace times 100 says, Mikey, alright guys, I'm finally back. More videos, more tutorials coming soon. Me, please, don't do that. Don't give me hope. Yeah, I know the meme. Babby Yoda says, when you take a pause, because the YouTube algorithm fucked you up. Oh yeah, that was all part of it. That was all. So basically, just before I came away from YouTube, I think 4 out of every 5 videos that I was making was getting demonetized, flat and flagged. And 1 out of every 4 was getting age restricted as well. And I was just like, oh, this platform is a bit of a nightmare right now. I'm not going to fucking worry about this. Yeah, absolutely came away from that. But it's lovely to be back. Chevalier J, yes, you're finally back. I missed you very much. Chevalier J, missed you too. Thank you very much for the kind words. Izadaki says, also, I have a recommendation for an anime. Tower of God is fantastic. Season 1 is still coming out. You can also read it for free since it's on Webtoons. with over 400 chapters. Holy shit. Now, this is a thing. I don't talk about the kind of long manga idea that I've got in my head because I never know if I'll even get around to making it because I've got a few doujins and naughtier things that I want to kind of draw and put together first. However, it's very much based on kind of stuff involving my dissertation and a lot of stuff I'd studied when I was at university. And there's definitely basically, I've not watched Tower of God. I don't know what it's about. The title, Tower of God, scares me into thinking that maybe I've left it too long to do my own anime idea. But yeah, no, I do actually hear it's rather good. So we will dive in and take a look. Thank you very much for the reminder, though. I'm going to copy that as well. What happens is when I get around to editing this video, the moment after we're done recording, that's when I also on another page just start clicking on all of your suggestions and Googling them. Bo Fitz says, I thought I was going to get greeted with an ear in a wrap in the start. Welcome back. Well, oh, hello. Hello, good sir, and welcome back, all of you. Seebs Art says, hey, you're back. Absolutely, good sir. Full Pencil Alchemist is currently drawing a wholesome, in air quotes, but busty anime angel African waifu. African angel anime waifu busty. I like everything that I've just heard. Infinity says, go juicy. Go juicy indeed. Oh, that was me saying that. You're quoting me. Yeah, guys. Sometimes you do have to go juicy. That's just for way of life. And Ali Akbar says, hi, Mikey. Hello there, Ali. And welcome back. I hope you're doing good in this difficult time, but I am curious, do you draw nude versions of the characters for higher levels on Patreon? Well, the short answer is yes. I'm a spicy artist, and the spicier you get, the more you pay your mortgage and your rent. But all of my public work is always safe because I don't want to be too much of a public lewd artist. Not because I have a problem with it, because I don't, but because I don't want to put people off who are a bit more sensitive to that topic, who might otherwise want to get into drawing anime or drawing art in general. Does that make sense? Like, I want you guys to be like, hey, I really fancy drawing. And then maybe you'll come across some of my videos and be like, okay, I'm going to give drawing a go. And then all of a sudden you're drawing, and that makes me happy. As opposed to I really fancy drawing, and then you're going to come across some of my content and be like, oh, wow, there's a lot of pornography on the internet. And then maybe I'll skip it. Because that would make me sad. That being said, yeah, the higher you go up in my Patreon tiers, you're going to see some shit, basically. The lowest tier, $1. Hey, I just want to learn to draw. Fine, have my tutorials work pack, thank you for the support. And then the higher you go, you're just like, oh, there's a lot of boobs. And then you get higher and you're just like, oh, there's all sorts of stuff. And then you get higher and it's just like, oh, there's all sorts of stuff smashing into other stuff. And I'm not sure if that one's like a human or a monster. And then that's happening. And it gets messy. It gets messy. Anyway, Karabo Mabena says, hey, Mikey. Hello there, Karabo. The lovely ladies that you draw has inspired me to start drawing some of my own. Fantastic. There we go. But more not safe for work. Oh, no. What have I done? Hope you're good. Hey, hope you guys are good as well. And Shafanan has put an essay in here. Hey, Mikey. Hello there, Shafanan. I'm sketching 12 from Street Fighter for the billionth time. Oh, fuck. I don't know who that is. To warm up, I'm very old school Street Fighter. I remember Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I don't remember the new ones. To warm up, whatever is in my scuffed lewd mind of mine. Apart from having boobs, I don't know what it is. Apart from a dumb teacher giving me 2 weeks worth of homework every weekly class, I've been drawing an insanity in this quarantine. I've got immensely better at it. I'm kind of butchering your sentence conjunction to there. And I'm pretty good about it as well. You've certainly been a part of me getting better, so here's a thanks. And here are some character suggestions. Oh, 12 and Alex from Street Fighter 3. Well, Shafanan, thank you very much. Either your sentence was very oddly structured, or my ability to read it just went right out the window. But I get what you're saying, and thank you. And Egan101 says, I was told to stop drawing and tell what I am drawing I shall follow through. Okay, so basically actually finish some work and not just keep starting loads of stuff. I'm drawing a reference sheet for my Goddess OC. Oh, brilliant. Talk about timing. You've got my vil-Chan figure reference sheet. I'm not calling it a character sheet because it's just a figure sheet at the moment. Anyway, Goddess OC for my own story stroke universe that I have in mind. Guys, lore, Lore. When you see an artist come up with their OC or a character design, it's like the very, very tip of the iceberg. You know, there's pictures of icebergs where 4/5 is underwater. And the rest of the underwater stuff inside the mind of whoever's drawing it is all lore. Like, artists might be writers and artists might not be writers. But every artist who's drawn an OC, man, we got some lore, you know what I'm saying? It's all there. I've already got a whole load of lore for old vil-Chan as well. Alyssa H says, I love the idea of you doing a drawing of no game, no life characters. I'd love to see you do Jibril. She's super cute. Also, welcome back. Alyssa H, Why, it's lovely to be back. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Also, copy paste accordingly. And Grey Shirt Guy says, me as a creative writer, please read my work. Mikey, keep your stuff to yourself. Me, okay. Yeah. It's not, I've got nothing against creative writing, obviously. Like, being creative is fantastic. It's when people, like, add their own creative writing synopsises to other people's, like, artwork posts on Pinterest and stuff, and it's just, like, so cringe. It's, ugh. Malachi Comics says, I'm drawing a Mouseketeer girl with Swiss cheese, like high boots. She's got her feet in the cheese. That's less delicious the more I think about it, but hey, fantastic. And Peter Soderland, there we go, says, hi Mikey, hello there Peter. If you're seeing this, I'm a huge fan of your artwork. Why, thank you. And everything about it just inspires me so much. Holy shit, hey, thank you very much, man. I've missed your art and your tutorials have helped me so much. I'm a decent artist that draws both giant monsters and anime characters, and I was hoping you would do a request for Noel from Black Clover. I hope you see this. I'm so glad I found your channel. Oh, thank you so much, dude. Control-C, Control-V. I'll investigate. So guys, remember, I'm doing my best to power through all of your comments. But if I've missed anything you've got to say, don't worry, don't feel bad about it. Just copy-paste it into this week's episode. With any luck, I will catch it next time around. Wasim Tamul says, hey, this year I got myself into an art school. Congratulations, Wasim. That is fantastic. Long time no see. And yeah, right now I'm just drawing female faces. Hey, awesome. Guys, I hope you're all having a great time if you're on that art journey. I was... oh my god. Have you seen this? So basically, I'm assuming you have. On YouTube, there's this one bloody Udemy advert that's just fucking everywhere. Hey, do you want to learn to draw amazing, convincing art that will impress all of your friends? And that Udemy music's just like... And I was just like, do you know what? I'm very, very tempted to take... And by the way, I'm not having a go at him or anything like that. I'm laughing at the fact that I see this advert all the time. And there's only love in my heart, don't worry. But I keep seeing this fucking Scott Harris advert. Hi, I'm Scott Harris, a digital design character illustrator with my courses, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I've seen that so many times. I'm probably going to take that Udemy course and do a review. Because you know when you see those clickbaity videos where it's just like, professional chef goes to street diner, or, professional coal miner investigates new open-faced coal shafts. That's a really bad example. So it'll be one of those like, professional artist secretly takes artist Udemy course review. You know, that sort of shit. So I'll do something like that. But I'm really tempted. But do you know what? And I'm only saying this because Wasim's talked about going into art school. Udemy is one of those websites that sells itself on the idea that it wants to teach you stuff and help you be creative, help you learn, if anything, help educate. And it's very much the American education system in that actually it's there to make money first. Because I went onto the Udemy website. I was like, shall I have a look at this Scott Harris art thing? I clicked on that Udemy website and the very first thing that I got hit with is that same scam and con that you see in so many websites. The Scott Harris art course is like, one of them at least, is like somewhere between, 12 to 20 quid. Like, let's say 16 quid. And there's this, the moment I went on the Udemy website, there's this big fat red and yellow banner, and it's just like, oh, for a limited time, you've actually managed to come here when we've got it on a massive discount, guys. Normally, this course is 195 quid. But if you click on the next 5 hours and buy it right now, you can get it for the low price of 60. You'll be saving 91%. I haven't done the math. So basically, like, it's got this big flashing thing, and I was just like, how dare you? Because nobody is ever selling that course for nearly 200 quid. That's just a lie that they put on a £16 course to try to make you impulse buy it. So like if you went there and it was like, hi, my course is £16, you're going to look at it and you're going to go, okay, great. I might want to do this. I'm going to think, do I want to spend £16 on this course? Depends what my agenda is. But if you do that, but you've got a big flashing ring around it saying it's £16 right now for the next 5 hours, and then it's going to be £200. It's there to make you kind of go, oh wow, I can't believe I happened to be here at this one time it's discounted. How fortunate and lucky am I? I better buy it right now before it gets more expensive. Which is bullshit. Because if you just delete your cookies and come back to the exact same website a day later, oh, lo and behold, you happen to have also gotten here when it's on a fat discount. So that made me laugh because I was just like, wow, the very first thing I've seen, and this is, again, this isn't an attack on Scott Harris. This is how Udemy operates. It's not like him in particular. But the very first thing when you go onto this website that's all about teaching you stuff and educating you is it tries to trick you into buying its course as quickly as possible. So it's stuff like that puts me on a wrong foot because you're always going to get somebody who's just like, oh, wow, I better spend my money when maybe you weren't necessarily going to follow through with that decision. But hey, it's only 16 quid, so maybe I shouldn't worry about it. Maybe my outlook's a little bit too dark. Let me sip some tea. I'll say it how I see it. This is why I don't work with GearBest anymore. Do you remember when I used to review a load of GearBest products and then they sent me a tablet that was so bad I was compelled to tell everybody how bad it was just to make sure nobody bought the tablet because they were lying on that tablet about the pressure sensitivity and stuff and it was really old tech. Man, GearBest did not like me after that. But what are you going to do? If something's bad and I'm doing a review, I have to tell you, otherwise you're never going to trust me again and I'm not going to sleep very well because of my conscience. But basically, one day, secret Udemy review video, and then I'll let you guys know if it's really worth your £16. Spoiler alert, it probably is. It's nice to have some structure. That's a shitload less than actually paying for a course. Again, I'm not actually here to hate. I'm just really curious because I've had that advert rammed down my throat a million times. Hides in the basement says, glad to have you back, man. Hello there, Hides. I'm also having huge chunks of my life force drained by the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh! Man, I could talk about that game so much. No spoilers. You are safe. But in a nutshell, here are my thoughts revolving the Final Fantasy VII Remake. As I played the game, they put in a lot of stuff involving these kind of ghosts or entities. And I was just like, why do they keep throwing these in? It's so much padding. And then as the game keeps going, I'm just like, oh, it's these fucking padding motherfuckers. Can I get a P for padding? And it was just going on and on. I was like, okay, it's just an extra battle or an extra thing that they're squeezing into the narrative. By the end of the Final Fantasy VII Remake game, at the very, very end, it all suddenly has context. It all suddenly has meaning. And then all of a sudden you realize the game is actually now pointing in a new direction. And you're just like, oh my God. Mind blowing. Like, 7 seconds, Cloud. What will you do with it? Like, and then there's like, then you start wondering, like, look, no spoilers, but then you start wondering, is this an Aerith from a different place? Is this a Sephiroth from a different place? In the reality, oh, mate. Anyway, so yeah, it wraps up really, I'm just like, I'm sitting here smiling. It just wraps up really interestingly, so I thought it was absolutely fantastic. However, I have seen a lot of people posting on the internet, on Twitter, oh my God, the soundtrack to the Final Fantasy VII game, this is the best one ever. It was perfect. Could it get soundtrack of the year? And I'm just like, bitch, please, where are you listening? Jesus. Like, now, I love Final Fantasy VII, and I love the soundtracks, and I love Uoburo Uematsu's, there we go, I've not quite done that correctly, Nobuo Uematsu, there we go, is earlier work and stuff. The soundtrack in this Final Fantasy VII game does remix a lot of the songs incredibly well and they sound fantastic. And it does a good handful of them so badly that it is noteworthy. It actually took me out of the experience. And also in this game, when you're going in and out of cutscenes from one moment to another, because it doesn't have the pace and the effect and the good storyboarding that the original had, this is much more of a watered down, wider experience. The music drops in and out of these different scenes and it can kill the moment and kill the vibe and take away the energy. But you've got all these sycophants who are just like, oh yeah, it was perfect, it was brilliant. And it's just like, people like you are not capable of engaging in an actual critical conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway. So, yeah, that soundtrack, man, when it was good, and when it was bad, it was not very good. But overall, I fucking loved the game. Overall, it was absolutely fantastic. I thought I was going to finish the game having quite liked it, but when it turned out what they were doing, I all of a sudden was fucking loving it, and I thought the battle mechanics was almost perfect, an almost perfect upgrade from, the battle mechanics of the original game. I'm really, really glad it wasn't something like the Crisis Core mechanics, because that stuff just put me on edge. But basically nobody asked, and I've just realised I've gone on a little side ramble, and the focus my delicious friends, is you guys in the chat. So let's keep scrolling. Crazy Creator says, I'm drawing all of my physics equations from my late work, which I'm rushing to do in the first week of semester. Oh my god. You long-range from home people. Are you guys all still schooling from home? I found some old works from when I was following your tutorials. I think I'll be trying to redraw them. I post them to my Instagram from time to time. Not a plug. Don't read out my username. No worries, good sir. In that case, you still have retained all of my love. Because I am very self-conscious, but you have put it in there. No worries, dude. No worries. And Burnt Robot says, I tried one of your tutorials, mapping a cute, easy anime face. And I got a very good result. I was so happy that day. Thank you for this. Hey, Burnt Robot. I'm very, very glad that those tutorials have helped you in any way. That's absolutely fantastic to hear, man. Zookeeper02 says, Hey Mikey, hello there Zookeeper. Nice to have you back on YouTube. Why thank you. The Draftsman podcast can't really substitute for your rambles. Yeah, so guys, I've only listened to one in my life. But, excuse me, you guys are so I'm very much like I'm here to get you into art. Like I'm here for that beginner anime tutorial vibe. I'm not the world's finest artist. I don't know all the stuff and ting, but what I want to do is like ideally be that first step that makes you pick up the pencil. And then once I've got you into it, absolutely, there are much better, thorough artists on this channel. I don't have a problem with that. That's the reality. And Proko is one of them. My boy Stan Prokopenko, is that how you say it? So he has a Draftsman podcast series with another artist where they talk about all sorts of topics. But it's what I would describe as a very good podcast. Proko really knows his stuff. You're going to learn some very, very good things. So if you need something that's a bit less good and a bit more of a one-man ramble, this is where you want to be. Do you know what I'm saying? You want to be back on that DWM. So welcome on in. We're a legacy show. We're I'm pounding my chest now. We're 133 episodes deep. You know what I'm saying? We've been around. We've been here for a while. Anyway, but yeah, no. Shout out to Proko. He's absolutely fantastic. You will learn some excellent stuff from that individual. What am I drawing, you ask? I am asking. Just Pinterest studies, I answer. Okay, fair. I've become all right at simplifying and blocking out my subjects when drawing, but things lose a lot of life when I clean up the line work. Any suggestions on how to overcome this tendency? My first question is, do you colour in your line work when you've done it? Because you can bring it all back into colouring. And if not, maybe you want to be including a few more quicker elements of texture back into your line work itself. If all of those scratchy lines are giving you a load of flow and direction, maybe you just want not solid, consistent lines, but kind of scratchier shading, single hatching moments here and there, just to show a bit of motion, flow, and direction. Say along the calf of a character where you want to define the edge of a muscle with just a few single hatched edges, but not an actual solid line and so on. Line weight and that kind of balance, mate, that's big. You find it over time, but changing your line weight and line thickness is all part of it as well. Depending on what I'm doing with my style, I might have it very consistent, or I might have points where lines come together and I start to thicken things out and imply like a deep shadow. There's all sorts of things to it. Contemplate Text says, Missed you, Mikey. Hello there, Contemplate. How are you? Good to have you back and glad that you took some time for yourself. Why, thank you very much, dude. I've been voice acting. Well. I sold my house and I'm trying to make enough of my voice to quit my job, but 2020 looks to destroy everything. But that won't stop me. Good for you, good sir. Welcome to the world of voice acting. I got approached to do, I've probably said this before, from Filmcram, the other YouTube website. Somebody messaged me on there because they wanted me to do some voiceover work for the English dub for a load of Saudi commercials. And I was too busy to say yes, basically, at the time, but I was just like, hey, man, they like my voice. Over in Saudi, man. They got time. Unbaked Potato says, I would love more tutorials, but I'm still trying to learn how to draw feet. Man, you feet people love your feet. Yeah, we'll have to do some more of that in the future as well. I was thinking, now, because we've just done a how I cheat my way around clothing materials tutorial. It's all about triangles. And we're going to do more about drapery and stuff, but I don't want to oversaturate just one topic at a time. So I think we'll flick it back into body types, maybe MILF body types, something like that. Of course, that's a mum that I would like to friendship. That's what that means, because, family stream. And Asusi Artinity says, oh my god, I miss Draw of Mikey so much. Oh, thank you for saying. Also, here's a question. What is the hardest thing to draw, in your opinion? Okay, well, this kind of links back to Unbaked Potatoes comment. A lot of people hate drawing hands, and a lot of people hate drawing feet. I'm going to hit you up with something new. raised arms on a character, working out what's going on with the armpit. How you draw the armpit correctly when a character's raising their arm or putting their hand all the way up behind their head. That's my secret new difficult to draw area. Yes, hands and feet are difficult, but you be sleeping on that raised armpit area because that thing's just like, where do I put these lines? What's going on here? Adam Puller says, Dabler is in the house. I'm glad to see you back. Oh, Adam Puller, I now know who you are. So next time I see you on Twitch, I'm going to be like, hello dude. And Belinda Dixon, here's another blast from the past, says, hey Mikey, hello there Belinda. I thought you must have died or something. Welcome back. I missed your dulcet tones. Why, thank you so much. I miss your comments. And Vishif says, yay. I was just wondering if you were, that was very Christopher Walken of me just there. I was just wondering if you were live yesterday. I'm so happy that you're back. Well, thank you, good sir. Now on to watch the video. Yeah, so don't worry guys, like in the future DWMs, now that everybody said hello to me again, we're going to be getting back to the actual topic of stuff and thing. I haven't asked a massive question from this, so let me think of something right now. Guys, if you're still here, listening in, working along, thank you so much. Do me a quick favour, reach your sweet selves forward to your keyboards. What is your favourite character in terms of their overall character, like, sheet? Now, how do I make this question somehow sound a bit better? Do you know what, should we go over new question? I was just basically, my long story short was like, give me loads of character sheets. I want to look at loads of character designs. But are there any characters that like you've fallen in love with at a character sheet stage? Are you guys making Here's a better question. Are you guys actually making character sheets of all of your own characters? Or are you just sitting there doing a random drawing and going, hey, I like this drawing. This is now my OC. But being too scared to ever draw them again because you know it won't look right or won't look the same or won't capture that moment? Looks like my questions are quite aggressive. Let's not worry about it. Let me just say I love to see you guys. We'll thin out the comment section and then we'll do a question for next week. Anyway, Ulsfa says, great to see you're back. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, you have to make up for the time that you've now been away. I believe it's fair to say we all deserve daily uploads. You kidding, bro? I won't make it. I wouldn't make it out the other side. I would not see the end of 2020 on daily uploads. Have you seen what happens to people who make daily content? They're on YouTube for about 2 or 3 years and then they burn out or they go crazy or they dye their hair or get involved in a fight offline or just fucking go nuts. Man, daily content creators on YouTube. They're not well. They're not well, people. LCZ the Fat Cat says, hey Mikey, I missed you a lot, mate. LCZ, thank you so much. Lovely to see you guys. I am right now just scrolling my way down a lot of welcome backs. Dan Chase, Charlie, Helgias, Tom Eyes, Return of Vic. There's a lot of... Oh my god. So also, at the beginning of this video, I was just like, right, I'll make sure that no comments are blocked. Because if you say, like, if you do a bit of casual swearing, which I don't really mind, because you might just be swearing about how much you love or hate something, it does get filtered and blocked by YouTube now because YouTube's so super safe. So I went into my held for review comments and... so many of you, bless your hearts, I bloody love you guys, so many of you had said the exact same thing. The Return of the King, just that, because I know it's quite a meme as well. It meant that every single comment had then been filtered for possible spam, because so many of you had all come out of the same thing. And that just put a little smile on my face. I was like, wow, no YouTube, they're not spamming, they're my brother. So, hey guys, thank you so much. By the way, no kings round here. Just another dude on that drawing journey, much like you guys. Hey, I'm just some bloke with a microphone, so thank you. Jorge Emiliano Camacho Mendoza says, dude, how are you? I'm glad that you're back and doing well. Thank you very much. I read that just for your name. Thank you very much, dude. I'm scrolling, guys. I see so many of you lovely people. Mikey, we missed you so much. Herman Cuevas, thank you so much for saying. Ford B, yes, I'm back. I'm scrolling to make sure there's no actual, like, content and bits for work. Oh, here we go. Garfarak says, Mikey, hello there, Gar. Remember when you rambled in one of your videos? I think you're confusing me for somebody else. I don't do that. That you'd like someday to create your own drawing guidebook. Well, please do. I've been brooding over lots of different things and how to draw books recently, just to hurl them out into the corner and go back to your videos anyway. Hey, Garfear Freak, thank you so much. That is on my agenda. Now, my game plan's been put back by a year. I've got like a 5-year plan. Due to COVID. Thank you, COVID. Hashtag thank you, COVID. And I'm looking over my shoulder because I have, and I've said this before. So, the really quick disclaimer is, if you're making a how to draw book, fantastic. It is awesome that you're trying to make something that helps people draw. That being said, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying out of hate, I'm saying it because it's important to be critical and to evaluate what visually is good and visually isn't good, because that's what's going to help you with your own art and design. There is one how to draw book when it comes to how to draw sexy anime girls that I genuinely think is absolutely fantastic. That's a book by Houtengeki. And I had the pleasure of managing to find a copy of that book when I was in Japan last year because it's not got an English translation. There are a lot of how to draw anime girl books in English, how to draw sexy anime girls, made by a lot of Western illustrators and animators or cartoonists and so on. And I'm going to be completely real. The fact that they're making it is fantastic. I'm not knocking that creative shit. The quality of the girls that those books are teaching you to draw, they don't necessarily look that great. So I do very much intend to make my own drawing book a little bit further down the line. What will go on with the context and format, I'm really not sure. But like, I feel like you guys need something. There's a gap in the market here for those better ladies. There's a gap in the Western market, let's say. Hotengeki's nailed it. Like, his book is fucking fantastic. Anyway, is that a JoJo reference, says Nav? Yes, it was. But obviously I've had to put the new music over the intro to today's episode, just so I don't have to spend the next 2 months fighting back the revenue, which I'm still doing and waiting on last week's video. Thank you, Warner. Anyway, James Soft says, you told me to stop drawing and tell you what I was drawing. I did indeed. You say that you were drawing a person's selfie that they'd posted on Twitter. Oh, you're doing some fan art of an IRL person. I tend to get a lot of models for studies from social media. Fantastic. I quite like that. I think there are some, well, obviously, unsurprisingly, you're going to find a lot of very pretty people on Instagram and Twitter taking selfies, and often with lovely filters or lovely poses, and they look really great. So, hey, it's just like, I'm going to start using you for some studies. The problem is that when it's a selfie, you know, you've got this one arm, shoulder, elbow always vibing into the corner of the screen. And although it makes for a nice Instagram photo, sometimes it doesn't make for a very well-framed reference, or a lot of them will just be out of shot. So it's not a really great overall body reference. I mean, I'm just complaining very lightly about a few of them, but yeah, it's not a bad way to do it. There's somebody I follow on Twitter. I want to say Noah Bradley and his missus, who I'm going to call Mrs. Bradley, but only because I can't remember off the top of my head. But these guys are artists who also make reference art packs as well. And again, this is all post-Patreon catch-up. In my perfect post-Patreon utopia, I tell you we have a dream. Once I'm post-Patreon, I want to buy a few of their packs and just sit down and just do loads of studies, do loads of facial reference studies and stuff. So you'll see like a lot of a draw of Mikey stuff a bit further down the line. Will be Mikey going back to basics and repracticing a lot of stuff because it never hurts to do so. Cool Guy CG says, I agree with you, Mikey. Killmonger was the best character of the movie. Yes, we're talking Black Panther again. He fought fair and won. Thank you, Cool Guy. Thank you, Kanye. Very cool. Yeah, right. I'm not going to rehash what I said last week, but yes, those are my opinions regarding. Anyway, yeah. The King is back, Muhammad Ali. Thank you so much for saying that. Lord Daryl Richmond says, I guess I can call off my mercenary cyborg detectives. I'm glad that you've returned, bud. I was just thinking, where's Mikey gone? Oh, I've just been on Twitch. Whilst YouTube was going around demonetizing all of my content and all of my videos, I was on Twitch, just having fun playing video games and drawing arts. But now I'm back on both. And JJ says, Mikey, I've been waiting forever for you, man. Hey, JJ, you were a big inspiration to my early art development, so thanks for being amazing. Oh, man. Thank you very much for the kind words. I also have a question. I've recently finished Vagabond, and I started Berserk. Holy shit. Have you read any good manga recently? What else would you recommend? Vagabond is a visual treat. Berserk is freaking incredible once you get past all the gore. It really is a genuinely fantastic tale. I reckon, well, my always go-to recommendation for people who are just like, Mikey, tell me about an under-the-radar manga. Vinland Saga. Now, I think it's now an anime, so maybe now everybody knows about Vinland Saga. But 5 years ago, like, people did not know about Vinland Saga. So I always recommend that one. That's a very good manga to get your way through. I'm just looking at my manga. Bleach is actually a good read, right up to the end of Hueco Mundo. Just wrap up the stuff with the final Aizen fight, and then never read any more Bleach ever again. Original Dragon Ball is charming. Absolutely charming. I picked up a load more manga as well when I was in Japan. Excuse me, I'm talking away from the mic. Do you know what? I'm a bit out of touch, bruv. I am a bit behind. The Promised Neverland. I have read that now. I've read the Promised Neverland manga up to the point where some of the characters leave the place. That's the only way I'm going to describe it. But I didn't read any further in the forest because I really felt like the Promised Neverland might be the kind of idea where the mangaka writing it, had the idea and an excellent, intriguing story very much up to the end of that first chapter arc act. And once I'd got there after reading it, I was like, do you know what? I think I'm going to stop here, because if I've read anything in manga before, is that it's usually a great idea that's almost a completed story in its own right in the beginning, i.e. the original idea that the artist had, and then all of the other following arcs are just a way of dragging out the series. Now, do tell me if I'm wrong. If you guys have read very deep into the Promised Neverland, and after they've left the place and they're in a forest, it continues to be amazing, let me know. I'll pick it back up. But my gut instinct was like, hey, I really, really enjoyed that. I think I'm going to stop right here before it gets worse. Which is kind of gut feeling I wish I had for Bleach years and years ago. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for welcoming me back. It's lovely. Let's scroll down. Let's see if I can grab a few more. Desert Avenger says, yeah, you're back. Hello there, Desert Avenger. Good to see my theory that you had drunk too much of a game streamer Kool-Aid and weren't doing art anymore was right. Jesus. You're in charge of Kool-Aid now. Anyway, since the last time I've started doing commissions, oh, fantastic, and generally, I feel my art has gotten a little bit better. The quarantine has certainly helped with that. Fantastic to hear. I'm looking forward to having the weekly DWMs in the background. It's lovely to be part of your Guys, all of you, if you've got me playing right now and making me part of your background, hey, thank you. Pat yourselves on the back. That means you are the #hardcore crew. That's right, guys. You're all still there. Anyway, they're usually a great motivator for me. Oh, thank you. Like the new DWM's out? Well, I better start doing some art. As for recommendations, you should watch or read Dorohedoro. It has great art with a very dark atmosphere. Oh, well, I'm going to throw your recommendation out to the earlier question. Dorohedoro, everybody. Got some dark comedy thrown in here and there, and great world building as well. Anyway, that was a metric fuck ton to unload. It was. It's been a while, you cheeky fucker. #sorry for the essay. #hardcore crew. #sip of nondescript hot leaf juice with milk. How dare you? Also, yes. Leaf juice? Yes, I will. And also, please do a tutorial on how to draw petite characters, please. I've done one. Now, I'm going to do one about dumpy characters, like goblin-sized ladies, because you make the specs, you can throw them about. But I have done one about, like just young female girl characters in general, just young female kids, nothing salubrious, obviously. So, yeah, I'm mixing up. We will keep going with all of those delicious ideas. Don't you worry. Desert Avenger, lovely to see you again. I'm just going to copy-paste Dorohedoro. Am I saying that correctly? And I think we've got time for one more comment. Let me just keep going down here. Big Mantis says, hey there, Mikey. Hello there, Big Mantis. I'm currently drawing some of the Skullgirls because they're fantastic. Have you ever thought of drawing more Western designs, such as Frankie Foster, Shiego, or Raven? I'm loving the art, and I can't wait to check out the clothing folder tutorial. Oh, fantastic. And also, that has not occurred to me either. Skullgirls. Is Skullgirls a video game? Because I used to get confused with... Wait, Skullgirls. Isn't Skullgirls, guys? Is there a... I want to say... So I want to give it like a steampunk name. Skullgirls, Pirate Girls, Tat Girls. In my universe, Skullgirls is the name of a bunch of alternative models, right? So basically, they do lots of alternative sexy selfies and boudoir shoots, but they're usually models that have like loads of tattoos or piercings. Are they not called the Skullgirls? Is that not what Skullgirls were? Because now separately, I think Skullgirls is a series of designs of girls from a 2D platformer fighting game, question mark? Guy, okay, this is my question at the end. What is Skullgirls, question mark? Help me out here, help me out. Okay, anyway, lovely guys. We have made our sweet way to the end of the episode. You've probably been seeing on screen a whole load of names scrolling along, which is absolutely fantastic. Those are the delicious patrons from last month who've been so patiently waiting along. Thank you so much for your support, guys. It's the only reason I'm able to do what I do. If you are curious, get your sweet selves onto patreon.com/mikeymegamega. Why not dive in, get yourselves those tutorial work packs for a cheeky $1. But other than that, no, just thank you very much for watching along the videos, commenting in the comment section. And guys, I hope you have a bloody lovely day. Take care.